If you see technology is worth making your life easier, go all in with it. We've had 2 flat or down years for ortho in a row. It's rare, if unprecedented in the last 40 years, to see 3. 2024 is our 3rd year in a row. We are set, hopefully, after the election, to see an amazing growth in this country. Do you think it's going to become easier or tougher for you to hire new team members when the economy gets more robust, when people are making more money, when the economy is making more money, when the digital economy is making more money? Let me tell you a little hint, folks, it's going to get worse, not better. So if you're struggling right now, start looking at technology, develop a technology adoption plan that allows you to start avoiding the crunch that's going to come when even more difficulty comes with hiring people. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of your 5-Minute Friday. I'm your host, Dr. Glenn Krieger. I was just recently doing a podcast interview with Philippe Salah from Dental Monitoring. And we just started talking about a lot of things that are out there in terms of technology and what have you. And you've heard me talk about this, and this is not going to be a long 5-Minute Friday. But I want to remind you of a conversation that he and I had, and hopefully you'll listen to the podcast that we did together, because whenever you get time with a CEO of a major corporation, they are built differently. Agree or disagree with their product, agree or disagree with their politics, agree or disagree with the way they market. But understand that the individual who's usually running these companies is a specific breed of person who has insight in a way that most of us just don't see it. And Philippe is no different. He's an amazing human being. And we had an opportunity to chat about technology in general that you'll hear in the podcast. And the one point I wanted to bring up today is just about scaling. I've talked about this many, many times. And if you're a young doctor who hasn't really been around the block a ton, please listen to this carefully. When you choose not to build technology into your practice, and I'm not referring just to dental monitoring or remote response or OrthoFire or Lead Sigma or blah, 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 whatever it might be, if you choose not to bring it in because you say, look, I don't want to spend more money, my overhead's high, I'm trying to save money on overhead, I'm not going to bring it in, that's great, you spend nothing, but you don't get the benefit. Now you can believe, well, I've done just fine without it, and you may or may not be making an informed decision. You may not be any better than that patient who goes, I don't want braces, it's not going to do anything. And you say, but wait a minute, you're not making an informed decision. And I see that happen a lot. But let's go to the other end of the spectrum. And you've heard me talk about this. You know, if you go all in with technology, the right technology, and you did your homework and understand it properly and utilize it properly, and most importantly, the key to this is make strategic decisions around that technology. An example of a simple one. Here's an easy one. You bring OrthoFi into your practice. Now, I have a financial interest in OrthoFi. I want to be transparent. But let's just say you bring OrthoFi into your office. The reason I bring them up is because it's a very easy decision. Let's fill in the blanks together. If I were to bring OrthoFi into my practice, if I believe in OrthoFi, if I think it's a great product for handling patient accounts and whatever, if I bring it in, then I can do the following in my practice, or I don't need to do the following. A great example would be financial coordinator, right? They're handling all your finances or almost all of it for you. You don't need a financial coordinator anymore. That's a very easy solution, right? It's a tit for tat. I'm bringing this product in, which does the job of financial coordinator. I don't need a financial coordinator in the same role, right? You can repurpose them, use them somewhere else, but you need somebody to oversee some of the finances, but you get my idea. Other technology is also very simple. Back in the day, I think it's been now almost a decade. It's got to be almost 9 years maybe since I got my first iTero. I was one of the first in Texas to get one. And I remember saying, if I get an iTero, then I won't have to do blank anymore, right? What are we talking about? Alginate, obviously. Irreversible hydrocolloid. But if I get an iTero, I don't need to do alginate anymore. And I can look at the benefits and the pluses. It costs me a lot more money to get an iTero up front, and probably long term. But the ease of process was so good. Like, I think it's hard to find many orthodontists out there who are exclusively alginate still today. And if they are, good for them. I'm not judging. But for me, the decision was simple. Why? Because I knew that if I went iTero at the time, it changed my life in terms of accuracy. I didn't have to, remember this, folks. We had to mail our impressions off to a line in a box in Texas when it's 105 degrees outside. You think there was any dimensional instability going on? So now let's take the less obvious choices. the things like the dental monitorings of this world, the things like the remote responses of this world. If you don't adopt it, you don't get the benefit. If you adopt it fully, you are going to get the benefit. But what's the strategic choice you're going to make? Like, for instance, with DM and remote response, I'm doing a little more production today than I did 2 years ago, but I'm doing it with 4 less team members, right? So what is my cost for DM? What is my cost for remote response? And what is my cost for those 4 team members? I come out ahead. Why? Because I went all in. I scaled the technology. I had an technology adoption plan, and it worked out. The dangerous place for you to be, and we've talked about this before, and that's why I'm doing this one more time, because people are not listening. The dangerous place for you is when you say, I've got 1,000 patients, but I'm going to use the technology on 100 of them. I'm going to get my 1,000 patients and use my iTero on 100 of them. You would laugh at me. You go, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm going to take my 1,000 patients and I'm going to use OrthoPhi for 100 of them. You go, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Glenn. Why would you not use it on all? But now, and by the way, there's a per person charge for each of those technologies, right? iTero, you need a scan tip for every patient you use. OrthoPhi, you're going to charge for the accounts that are being managed. But even you, and I don't mean even in a negative sense, but you would agree that such technology adoption is silly. Why are you taking 100 iTeros when you got the iTero here? You should be doing it on all your patients. Why are you doing OrthoPhi on 100 of your patients when you got 1,000 of them? You should be doing it on all your patients. Then why are you using DM on 100 of your patients when you should be using it on all 1,000? Like, don't you want to know that you're popping wire, your brackets are popping because you're changing wires too soon? And you see a spike in the numbers in your DM insights to realize, whoa. This month or this year, whatever it is, we're popping brackets like crazy when we went to this new wire or this new approach or this new system. Maybe we should go back to the way we were and see what the numbers show us. As I said to Philippe, you taste the soup, it needs more salt. You put some salt in, then taste the soup again. Watch your data. But come up with an adoption technology plan that makes sense and don't get stuck in the middle. Because when you get stuck in the middle, you don't get the benefits of scale, but you incur the costs of technology. And that's where it makes the least sense. And anybody who understands technology will agree with that 100%. I didn't make this up. I learned this from others. If you see technology as worth making your life easier, go all in with it. And as I said to Philippe on the call, right now, the U.S. economy, if you listen to my chat with Chris Benson on our podcast, we've had 2 flat or down years for ortho in a row. It's rare, if unprecedented in the last 40 years, to see 3. 2024 is our 3rd year in a row. It was 22, 23, and now 24. We are set, hopefully, after the election, to see an amazing growth in this country, many believe. Do you think it's going to become easier or tougher for you to hire new team members when the economy gets more robust, when people are making more money, when the economy is making more money, when the digital economy is making more money, when Uber is doing better, when Uber drivers are making more money? Let me tell you a little hint, folks. It's going to get worse, not better. So if you're struggling right now, start looking at technology, develop a technology adoption plan that allows you to start avoiding the crunch that's going to come when even more difficulty comes with hiring people. So the whole point of this whole conversation is scalability. You can choose to bury your head in the sand and not adopt any technology and spend no money and live in 1994 or whenever you want to go back to, and your patients don't get the benefit and you don't get the benefit, right? Or you can start looking at wise technological investment and developing the plan around it so that when I lose my next team member, I'm not going to replace them. Or that underperforming team member or members, I can get rid of them and still function just fine. So if you have any questions, reach out to me on this stuff. I sure hope you're going to OrthoPreneurs Summit 2025, first clinical OrthoPreneurs Summit. We've got some of the world's best clinicians talking clinical and management. And we've got 4 tracks each afternoon to help you and your team live your best lives ever. So again, go sign up at opsummit2025.com. The first 150 tickets for doctors and 150 tickets for team are the lowest price they will ever be. When they sell out, not based on time, we're going up to the next price, which is $200 more. You know you want to go. It's Las Vegas, it's OrthoPreneurs, it's clinical and admin. Just telling you, you got to sign up, opsummit2025.com. The tickets are going really quickly as of the recording. By the time you hear this, those 150 tickets may be gone, and I apologize. I don't apologize. And then every 150 that sell, it's going to go up another $200. So those who reward us by coming in early, we reward you by charging the least amount of money. opsummit2025.com. Can't wait to see you there. Sign up now. Much love to each and every one of you. And DM, not dental monitoring, but direct message me on Facebook if you have any questions or anything I can do to help you. Take care.